just like that. It's like I planned it. The music ends just as the countdown ends. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bridgehampton. This is a circuit you don't see too often. I feel like it's mostly popular these days because of this version of it. A wonderful version of Bridgehampton for Assetto Corsa. And we're going to do some racing on it today. I hope everybody's well out there. Hello. Back with the SROL sim race. Whoa, that Jag. Very loud. Some of the cars are loud. I'll turn this down slightly for a minute. Back with the sim race online, folks. Did a few races with them. Last time out was a bit of an interesting one at Le Mans, driving the little Chevron around. But things will be a bit different today. Oh, the GT40 overcooks it here down the hill. This hill, so this is turn 1 at Bridgehampton, and it is a doozy. It's like Paddock Bend at Brands Hatch, but much more difficult, which is insane because I feel like Paddock Bend is one of the hardest corners. They punch a waterfall. They KO. Eric, what's going on? But this corner, if you haven't seen Bridgehampton before, we're going to do plenty of driving today. It's a 150-mile race. We still got qualifying to come in about 15 minutes or so. Here goes a 330 P4 down the hill. Victorinis galore. Multi-class race this. All the cars are a bit different, and we should be fairly quick today in the GT40 Mark II. Yeah, but this is that first corner, and it's like a triple apex down the hill. Yeah, the cars are loud. You come screaming under a bridge, though. We'll get a good look at it in the car. And speaking of cars, let's fly on over to the pit lane. You can see the Atlantic Ocean. I would believe the Atlantic Ocean there, unless that's between the Long Island Sound, or Long Island and the actual coast. But here's some of the cars sitting in the pit lane, glugging away. And if we pull up right here, here's our ride for today. This Mark II GT40. Painted up, I want to say it's in like a 1965 paint scheme, which I thought would have been on the Mark I. Maybe this is kind of a, I don't know what, I'm sure folks in the chat will know what race this livery is from. Yeah, but it's our ride for today, and we'll be doing a bunch of racing. So this is the SROL SROL 150 Bridgehampton race. It's 53 laps around this course. And I'll be driving the GT40. We got a full field of cars, like you can see. I think it's gonna be like 40 of us out here or something like that. And we should be just as fast as, or faster than all of the cars except the Ferrari 330 P4. I think that's gonna be the car that'll be a little bit faster than us. But I think there's gonna be plenty of chaos in this one. It's a busy circuit. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race. But we got about 5 minutes of practice to go, and I figure I'll jump out and do half a lap or something. And then we've got a 40-minute qualifying, I think, 30-minute qualifying, and then straight into the race. So if you're here for the race, it's probably about an hour away at this point, maybe a little less, for the actual race. And the race itself will be, I would imagine, close to 2 hours to do 150 miles. And we'll talk about strategy and stuff, because that's going to be the main thing that I'm worried about today. But yeah, let's go do a quick lap and make sure everything looks and sounds good. Let me know how the audio is and all that. We'll come out of the pit stop. I'll talk you around the course. Here comes another GT40 on by. So there's both Mark I and Mark II GT40s in this mod or in this race today, and the Mark I will be honestly, because of the way this track is, it's all going to be a little bit up in the air as to who's going to be fastest. Ooh, squeeze on the apex. Sorry about that, Maximilian. Mr. Venig. All right, we got 4 minutes left though, so we'll come through. This is, I think, Millstone Corner. We'll come on to the Millstone Straight and down to one of the tighter corners on the course. Second gear for this. I think I won't use first gear, I don't believe, but this is Colasanti, and it heads into Echo Straight, and see if you can pick up why that is. I don't know if the mod creator somehow made the audio reverberate through there more, or if that's just because it's shaped how it actually was, but it echoes through that straight, which is so cool. We'll come on down through the Valley of the Lefts. It's 3 left-hand corners. We went through the first one already. There's the second one, and here's the third one. Second gear for this. Pick up a little bit of throttle and then head into the hairpin, or the light bulb, as it was called. Really tricky corner to not slide the tires too much. All right, pick up the throttle, head up the hill here towards the final couple of corners, and this is so hard in this car. You come over the top of the hill, grab second gear, and try to straighten it out to that cone for braking, and then arc it in for the final corner, and I just missed the apex so much there. Oh, it's so bumpy, Tractor. It is a very bumpy course. We'll come to turn 1, though. This is one of the hardest corners on this track to get right. Down into third gear, and the track just kind of falls away from you, so you need to somehow try to find that apex there. I'm going to run a bit wide, understeer, get it down to second for Millstone again. We'll slide it out. So, get around, is that Max? No, different car there. Second gear then. Yeah, listen to the car echo through Echo Valley here. I don't know if this is on purpose that they made it do this. Or if it's just because the hills are shaped that way, as it was in real life, and that's why it was called Echo Valley. It's so cool. Yeah, this track disappeared in 1997. It actually stuck around for quite a long time. It was mostly a club racing course, I would say, after the 1970s or so. Lots of SCCA. But it still mostly exists, I believe, but it's a golf course, yeah. Or at least the straight or something exists today. Part of it. Yes, this is not a good course for this car. So this car should be much faster than like the Ferrari 330 P4 that we're going to be racing on most circuits, because this car is much faster in a straight line. But we're not going in a straight line too much. This front stretch is really one of the only opportunities we get to stretch our legs. Hello, Kringle. Yeah, staying on the black stuff is going to be the name of the game today. If I can not launch it into the sand, that would be ideal. Whoa, grab a tire there. Those tires don't hurt as much as they probably should, so I'm definitely going to clobber them here or there. Slow down for Millstone. Try not to lock the brakes up. All right, so I'll let you all in on what the story of this race is going to be for me. Is tires. I need to save the tires on this car. We are not going to have to make a pit stop today unless I ruin my tires. We can easily make this thing on fuel. We'll whack 100 liters in when we start the race. We'll put 100 liters in. It's like 1.8 liters a lap, something like that of fuel. I did some testing. I did a full run yesterday, and it all worked out. But my God, the tires wear out so bad, and especially after you get through the first 20 or so laps, it becomes just a test of not sliding the car. And I can still do pretty quick laps as the tires wear out, but it is so easy to throw the car off the course because you just have no grip, especially on the rear end. The left rear tire is the one we have to watch today. And my goal is to make it the whole race without pitting, but in order to do that, I have to be so careful on the tires and hope that they can stick with me. I kid you not, I did 53 laps yesterday. On the 54th lap, my left rear tire went flat. And so I'm hoping that doesn't happen in the race today. One lap earlier. It would be fine if it happens on the 54th lap. But yeah, it's going to be all about saving the tires. The left rear tire is punished so much around this course. So it'll be interesting. But all right, so we're just waiting for the session to turn over now. We're gonna have a qualifying 30 minutes, and I hope I can get into the top 5 on the grid so that we can have a nice start up front. That would be nice. This is a hard circuit, Fred. It is a really tough track. It's been a while. So I did a GPL video here. The last Grand Prix Legends video I did, by the way. Unfortunately. But it was at this track, and that's a nice version for GPL. This version for Assetto Corsa, as well as I think it's an R Factor 2, is just so nice. It's one of the, I don't know, it's just everything I like about vintage sim racing. It's kind of an obscure track, although this was a really popular track in North America. I wouldn't blame anybody for not having heard of it, since it hasn't really had didn't have major racing after the 1970s. But it's fun to do racing around tracks like this, especially when they're this detailed. And everything. All right. All right, so the session, we got a minute and a half till qualifying starts. Yes, the 1966 season. I've been playing a bunch of Grand Prix Legends lately, though, and maybe I'll get back into doing videos with it. It's fun to race around in that old sim. Oh, man, I appreciate everybody joining today. Hopefully it'll be a good race. The last one we did, if you were here for Le Mans, I had a really slow car for that one, the Chevron. Chevron will be pretty competitive here today. It probably won't be quick enough to win, but it'll be much more in the mix around a track like this. But let's see if we can, while we're on the grid here, or in the pits waiting for the session, we'll see if we can look at cars. We have some Chevrons here, though, somewheres. That's the Maserati. I love this car. It's so ridiculous looking. Yeah, here's a Chevron. So this is, I think, actually the one I drove, the exact one I drove at Le Mans, and it wasn't very competitive there. It was the slowest car in the race, I believe. But I finished the whole race, and after the start, which was kind of a mess, the race ended up being quite a lot of fun. So hoping for a better start here today. It will be a rolling start, which sounds great, except that Assetto Corsa doesn't do rolling starts. And so we'll need everybody to cooperate when we do the rolling start. This is a beautiful Ferrari. All right, we are in. Whoa, look at this guy. If you ever saw this in real life, run for cover. Man. All right, so we'll get in the car. I'm gonna load my race setup, but then we're gonna take most of the fuel out. I'll go out with like 20 liters, and we'll just go through a bunch of laps and see if we can get a clean one. Yes, the parking lot start at Le Mans was not good. So we're doing a rolling start today. It just means everybody's gonna have to cooperate, though, which is always the tricky thing in online stuff like this. But we've done some pretty wild things over the years, like the Targa Florio time standing starts and stuff, and so it can be done. People can read directions and follow them. So hopefully that's what happens today. All right, we'll put up. I forgot to put this at the top of the screen here. All right, so let's go out and do some qualifying laps and see if I can get this thing towards the front of the grid. So throughout practice this week, the Ferrari has been the quickest car by quite a bit. I think the fastest lap was like a second faster than what I was able to do. But Ford GT40 Mark II here is probably the second fastest car, as long as I can get a good lap together. So hopefully we'll see how all the Ferraris do and how the other Ford GT40s do, and maybe we can start up front. Lots of bumps on this track, though. Not locking up the brakes is going to be important during the race. But we do not need to worry about the tires in qualifying here, so we're going to abuse them. I won't be driving like this during the race. Keep it in third gear for this first left-hander. Wow. And down to second gear for the second one. And then slow it way down for the old hairpin light bulb corner. Gonna try to track it out to this cone on the outside, get in the throttle to help get that rear end to come around, and then dance it dancing across the apex there. A little bit wide on the exit. Coin, I'm bummed that you can't be joining us today, but yes, I am a gamer today, I guess. All right, we'll start the first time lap. Probably take a couple laps to get the tires working enough to be fast. So I'm aiming for a 138. That would be my absolute goal. But as long as I get into the 139s, I'll be good. Apex there, down to second gear for old Millstone here. This left-hander is hard. It's one of the only left-handers. Like this section here are the only left-handers on the track, so I actually have the car set up asymmetrically, so turning to the left here isn't quite as easy as the right-handers. Wow. It's kind of the opposite of a traditional oval setup. Ran a bit wide here at the bottom of the hill. Skate across the track there on the brakes. See what this first lap is. It actually didn't feel so bad, even though I messed up a couple corners. 139.3 though, already a low 139. All right, it's only gonna get better from here. I wonder if the track's a bit faster than it was in practice then. That felt a little too easy. Currently sitting provisional P1. I'm sure that won't last very long once some of these Ferraris get going. Ooh, one of them spun around though. Yeah. A lot of throttle down the hill there. I kind of mucked up. Drift through that corner. Full lock there. You don't want to get to full lock. It becomes hard to save then. All right, this lap will be quite a lot slower than the first one because of that. It happened to me at Riverside when we did the race there, that the very first lap I did was my best one and I just could never improve on it. So hopefully that's not what happens here. So I think I will need a better lap than a 139.3 to start at the pointy end. A couple cars in front, the Corvette there, the Grand Sport. This is what's going to be hard about this. But if you tried to wait for a clean lap, you'd never find one. So you just got to kind of go and see what happens. My God, that Corvette's so loud. Felt like I was in a washing machine there for a minute. Much better this time. This is a Mark I in front of us, so slightly slower on the horsepower, but it should be lighter than the Mark II. I don't know what kind of chassis upgrades they did between the Mark I and Mark II, so I'd imagine it would be quicker in the corners than us, but we're just gonna get out of the way. All right, I'm still a few tenths off my good lap so far. I don't think there were any Corvettes at Le Mans somehow. A little narrow through turn 1, just compromise the line a little bit. Somehow quicker than the good lap though. It's a little patchwork on the pavement there. That's my braking marker. I'll call it out next time. It's really easy to outbrake yourself around this track for some reason though, so finding good reliable braking markers, especially if we get a little later on into the day and the shadows start working over the course. Over the top of the hill. It's a good lap so far. Got a little Lotus in front of us, which is not so slow around here, despite its lacking severely in the horsepower department. Ugh. Real wide there. You can hear that Honda, or the Nissan rather, screaming down the front stretch there. Sure we'll hear that plenty. There we go. Didn't slide quite as much there, but actually pick up a lot of time on the exit because of that. We're 2 tenths up right now. Locking up the right front there as we offload the tire. It was kind of a mess. Through the final corner. Nope. Got dragged back on the sand. That was almost a good lap too, dang. Threw it away. Sitting in second now though. We've got unseated on the pole. It's all right. I know I can do a faster lap. We just got to get a nice one. We'll walk around this lap though and just reset for the next one. It's a tiring course. Oh, we got a car coming up behind me. I'll run wide here. It's the Mark 1. We have to try to find a little bit of a gap. It seems like I've got a GT40 behind me, same car as me, a Mark II. And we've got the 2 slightly slower cars in front. Might back up to Ben a little bit here and get myself a little bit of a gap ahead. We'll get Ben. I've been a little bit faster than Ben in practice so far, so hopefully I can keep him behind me without blocking him. Oh, he slid it into the corner. All right, we're gonna have a ton of space then. I'm gonna just give us a good amount of space in front. And we'll see if we can put a good lap together. Ooh, we had a car off in front too, so they're gonna come back to me. Yeah, it's so hard to give yourself a gap. You might as well not even try. So Adam asks a good question about the tire wear. It's probably gonna come up a bunch today. The gauge that I have, I don't know why it does this, but it's gonna stay at 100 for quite a while. And I think it's telling me that the tires are still producing 100% grip. But I would guess 15 laps in or so, it's going to start falling, and it falls very fast. So keep that in mind when we're in the race. The tires are going to say 100% for the first at least dozen laps, and then things will start falling apart a little bit. Not so good through the first couple of corners. Ton of smoke in front here. The GT40's had a bit of an incident. We lost a 10th. Look for our little marker here, right on the pavement there. I don't know if you'll see it on the stream, but it's just a tiny little patch that just so happens to be the perfect braking spot for this car. We got a little Elan in front of me. See how this works out. Should be fairly quick through the end of the lap. He's actually going to run wide. A lot of cars running off the course. Come down into the hairpin. right on the best lap time, so we'll see how I can do through here, pick up maybe a 10th or 2 if I'm lucky. Just wait on it. Try not to spin the tires too much there. That was all right. I'm up a 10th. Trying to slide too much, a little early on the brakes there, but it set me up nice for the final corner. Still run a bit wide. I don't get quite as good of a run. We're gonna just about work back to my best time, but this will better it just slightly. 139.2. Sit in 3rd place now. I've lost another spot. Let's try to just throw it right into another lap here. Not a lot of chance to breathe or read the chat around here. It's gonna be hard to keep up with you all today. Slid a little bit on the entry there. The hairpin is painful. It's not a nice corner in this car. So I tried to set up a super soft setup for this because the bumps, if you can't tell, they're pushing the car all over the place. And I set up a super soft setup, and it was so nice to drive. It just felt really nice around the corners and stuff. But I was like 2 seconds a lap slower than this setup. So I have to put up with the stiffer suspension to get the car to rotate. But it's painful over the bumps. Oh, thank you, Kringle. Welcome, Bill. All right, we'll set ourselves up for another lap here. Try to get a nice run onto the front stretch. Still, I'm understeering a lot there. Final corner. Cars coming out of the pits and everything here. It's a Mark II in front of me, dives to the inside, perfect. Let me take the braking all over the bumps there. I messed up the line just a little bit. If you're too far to the left there, the track's so bumpy you can't get the turn in, but still a couple tenths up so far. I get it back down to 2nd gear here. Locking the right front into the corner. Drifted into Echo Valley. It looks cool, but it's not fast to do that. Lost a little bit of time. Trying to carry the speed up the left-handers here. Well, that's about as good as you can do that. We'll lift over those rises in the race to protect the engine, but this is qualifying. Walking the rear end around and somehow made that apex. All right, we're on a good lap right now, so let's just try to get through the final few corners here. Come on. Just cannot get that rear end to come around without sliding. All right, gonna lose a few tenths coming out of the hairpin, but still a good lap. Let's try to get through this final corner well. All right, better through the final corner. We'll be 4 tenths up. This should get us into those 138s. 138.8. That's near on one of the better laps I've done, so I'm pretty happy with that so far, but we'll rocket right onto another one. We're on low fuel now, though, which is good for the speed. Just a little too far out there. You're trying to straighten out all the corners as much as possible, but really abusing the limits of the track. And track limits tend to police themselves around a track like this. You don't really have to worry about that. Somehow still pick up a couple tenths. We'll see if I can keep it up the hill. I think my run, yeah, understeer there. Back off of this lap. How much fuel? I got 2.3, so I got enough fuel for one more lap here. 2.3 liters left. Should have just enough once we get to the line. I'll try not to use too much of it here. I think I can still pick up a few tenths because I did not do a good hairpin on my good lap. But the run over the hill on my good lap was very good, so it's going to be hard to match that. We're going to have just enough fuel. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have enough fuel to do a lap. We'll see. Why not? We're going to run out of fuel right about here is my prediction, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of understeer and then there's lots of oversteer, and that's just kind of the way it goes in these cars. Just let it coast down the hill. Try to get a late apex there. Kind of run over it, but it's all right. Up 2/10 through the first corners. This might all be for nothing if we run out of fuel right at the end of the lap, though. Nah, lock the tires there. All right. We got to refuel it anyway. We'll look at the leaderboard, though, as it stands. We got 11 minutes to go in qualifying, so a bit of time. All right. So I'm only 2/10 off a pole. I think I can get 2/10. I think I can get 2/10, so definitely going to try for it. But Fabine is just ahead. They've been really quick this week with the Ferrari. Done some 137s, which, I mean, I won't be able to do that, but I think I can get 2/10. So I'll take a couple more liters out. We'll see if we can put that golden lap together with the 10 minutes that's remaining. Hey, TJC. Texaco. All right. It's the Jag in front of us. Ooh, a bit of a early apex there, had to correct. You can't see the apex coming over the rise there at the beginning, so. But in the race, can I stay in front? Well, that's the challenge. Might as well start up front, though. Have more of a shot at it. 2/10 is totally doable, because there's several corners I know I can improve on that lap. The part I'm worried about is the left-handers at the top of the hill here, because I really, specifically this left-hander, and the whole run down this hill, I nailed it, which I'm not going to be able to match that very easily. Jag runs off. All right, we'll get the clear road in front of him now. I imagine all the GT40s are going to go for a no stop, but like, can we actually make the tires last? That's the big question. And also, you know, would changing tires prevent me from sliding off the track at some point, which is going to take a whole bunch more time than pit stop for tires, so we'll see. Past a Ferrari there coming over the first corner. It's understeering. Tires aren't quite up to temp yet. It's probably one more lap before we've got good working tires, but we'll just do a nice steady lap and see what we can get as I run off the course. So yeah, I said it already, but the tire gauge is showing me the grip that the tires are making. So it's 100% grip right now. Once they start wearing, that will go down. But it's going to say 100 for a while because they will produce 100% of grip. And that's why they're under 100 when you come out of the pits, because they're not up to temperature yet and producing grip. Yeah, it'll be a 53 lap race today. +1 for a pace lap. Yeah, the way this app I have shows the tire wear, it's a little confusing, but it's showing you how much grip the tires have out of 100% of their total possible grip. So we're looking good right now. 100% grip. Yeah, they're just vintage tires, so there's one type of tire, unfortunately. This would have been, you know, when this car was racing, the tire rules were wide open, so you would have had so many options for tires back then. I'd say it starts getting dicey once the tires get below like 60%. But it's dicey all the time, so it's not necessarily that the tires wear out. It's just, this is a tough combo, this one. But it's a lot of fun. Just wait on it. It's annoying to have to wait for the throttle, but it helps. I'm gonna run right up on this Cobra, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me. They're not doing anything wrong. Just nip around the outside. It's gonna narrow my line for the run up the hill, and this is where I need to be perfect to match my best lap. That's not gonna do it. You know, if you're not going to make the corner, just add more slip to it, apparently. Yes, varying levels of diciness. It's a bummer. The beginning of that lap was quite good. Still not far off my best time, but probably get some good screenshots from this one of just like shocked faces. Did the Cobra go? I wasn't watching my mirror. I was full concentration trying to hold on to this thing. All right, we'll just scream right into the next lap. We got 5 minutes to go. I'm still P3. That's not a great way to do that for me. It's kind of my fault trying to sneak through there. Oh, we're going for a ride. Oh. Come on, is that an Olympic 10? 10 out of 10. I wish I could show you a replay, but there's no way to watch replays when we're in the race. When we're in the session. Dang. That's my fault for just trying to nip under there. Oh, Fabien is now done at 138.2. All right, we got just enough time for a couple laps. We'll try to. Yeah, so now you've seen what happens if you go off the track here. There's lots of jumps everywhere. I imagine in real life the sandbanks would have caught the car, not launched it, but it's a bit like Le Mans was in that respect, where those sandbanks on the outside of the corners are really just jumps. All right, we have 4 minutes to go here. I think we get to finish our lap if we're on one when the time runs out as well, so we should have at least a couple laps. Yeah, if we do a pit stop, we will see a crew. They're wearing modern stuff, unfortunately, but it's just how Assetto Corsa is. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. We'll get around Chris there. I think he was the Cobra that we passed earlier on. Hopefully I didn't cause him to go off. I think I passed him pretty clean. Thank you, Went Golfing. Nice to see you. Wow, messed up that corner there, but we're all right. All right, try to set up here. We should have time for, I think, 2 laps. This first one's likely to not be very good, just the tires aren't really up there yet, but even though they say 100, they're still not the perfect temperature. We'll try not have to launch the car off the side of the sandbanks. A little bit wide down at the bottom of the hill into Millstone. Not enough grip there. I'm still a 10th up somehow. Lost all of it though. It was kind of a mess on the entry. I didn't quite roll it enough. On the brakes, off the brakes. Yeah, nothing's gonna match my good run through there, but I'm right on my best time. And I did not do the hairpin correctly on my good lap, so we're still in with a chance. Locked up the brakes there to save the car instead of going fast. Yeah, lost a half a second just with that. All right, we got one more lap then. Got a little bit of I got a car in front of me, so I'm gonna slow down here just to give myself a little bit of a gap. All right, this is it. Final chance to try to get on the pole. Oh, I've slid back to 4th. I don't think I'll be able to get a pole lap, but maybe I can improve a position or two. Come on. All right, should let me finish this lap. Right on the time right now. Missed the apex there in Millstone. It's all right. Let's keep it going. We were 2/10ths up, but we slid through the corner. Tried to cut the exit there more. That's a terrible line. I think that's probably it for this lap. I'll stay in it though. You never know. Second down. Oh, a car off in the dirt there. I have a feeling we'll be seeing some of that, so I got to put myself into race mode now. That qualifying here has come to an end. That's all right. It's a good session. I improved my lap a couple times. 4th is nothing too bad, but was hoping I could be the quickest Mark II. It doesn't seem like that was possible today. But yeah, race mode. So I'm going to drive much differently in the race, which will probably be a good thing, because this wasn't working out too well for me, driving like this. But I have to try to be as smooth as possible to save the tires. The left rear is the one we got to watch out for. It'll say 100% for the first dozen laps or so, and then it's going to start losing a bunch of grip. And it went all the way down to the to the bottom yesterday in my test. So like I said earlier on, the tire actually deflated on the next lap. I did like the 54th lap and I was just throwing sparks behind me. So hopefully it lasts 53 laps. If things get really dicey or if I'm having a really tough time holding on to it, we can always pit for rubber. But it looks like Fabien gets the pole. We got 2 Ferraris on the front row, so they lock out the front row. Daniel's there in second. Daniel, oof, in the second. Wow, Fabien's time 1:37.5. Yeah, no way I was doing 1:37. But Yvonne with the first of the Mark II GT40s there. I'm second of the GT40s. So starting 4th. It's gonna be a single file start though, rolling. So, all right, we got 2 minutes till the session rolls over. I'm going to take a quick break and fill up my water and all that, and then we'll be back for the race. So I'll see you all in a minute. All right, so we got, I think there'll be another quick wait before everything starts. Have our chance to look at some of the cars. What a beautiful, beautiful scene. All right, I got 3 minutes till the race starts. Everybody line up on the grid. Take a quick fly through the grid before I settle up my car. Yeah, this is good. Vintage sim racing. A full field of cars. I think we had, what, 34 cars today, which is great. Bunch of practice drivers. It should be a good show, hopefully. 150 miler here at Bridgehampton, which will be 53 racing laps. Start off with 100 liters of fuel. It should be enough to make it the full distance. We'll set up a pit stop for tires in case we need them, or set up a second for just 10 liters of fuel in case something weird happens. There we go. Link to the track and the mod and everything are in the description of the stream, and you can go have yourself some fun. It's a really nice combo. It is tricky though. If you haven't driven this track before, it's not an easy one. But I appreciate everybody joining. I think we've got maybe another minute or so before we do the rolling start, and I cross my fingers that everybody read. We're reminded a bunch of times. Nate Lepson, the one who organized this race, has just been trying to make sure everybody knows it's a rolling start, and I hope everybody knows it's a rolling start. But single file rolling start, so we'll be third in line behind the number 4 here of Yvonne, and just try to get a nice steady pace going. I don't know. I think the Ferraris will have more pace than us just on raw pace, but if they make some mistakes, or maybe they've got a pit or something, so if I can just stay relatively close, that could really change everything. But hopefully get into a nice steady pace today and a nice flow state and just have some fun with this. I always have fun racing these cars in Assetto Corsa and everything. And yeah, hopefully more of that today. I appreciate y'all joining though. Nice little crowd in here for a Saturday. Should be some more racing coming too. I know things have been a bit quiet on here lately, but I'll be I think next weekend doing a little race as well. And we'll have some more rally coming soon, and then hopefully some videos about random stuff. I've been playing a ton of Grand Prix Legends lately, like I was saying, and I don't know what I'll do. I obviously want to do the next IndyCar 2 race too. It's been already like a month since the last one, which is too much time, or a couple months or something. All right. Good thing the cars can't stall at Assetto Corsa, because I think it stalled it 3 times there. Interesting. So there was no like countdown to the lights. I don't know how they did that. All right, they said no weaving for tire temps or anything like that. You just are supposed to follow a few meters behind the car in front of you. So we'll just follow the 4 here, and then I believe we won't start until the leader touches the start-finish. And he can't pass to the start-finish line either. So we should be clear going into turn 1, hopefully. And then from there, it's a race. But it's 54 laps because this first one is not a racing lap, but then 53 laps of racing, 150 miles at the bridge, as it was called back in the day. Historic road course in New Jersey, Long Island, or Long Island, New Jersey, however you want to say it. I think was open from 1957 to 1997. Hosted Can-Am and tons of sports car racing. And you could see maybe why it was a bit unsafe of a track, but it is such a beauty of a course. I mean, literally, it's one of the tracks where they just kind of laid some pavement over the top of the sand dunes, kind of like a Zandvoort situation, which is very topical. Is it New York, Long Island, New York? That's right. But yeah, kind of a Zandvoort-esque feel, a little more elevation. I guess Zandvoort's got plenty of elevation, so it's not such a bad comparison, those two. I should know. I live very close to this area, so I was actually in New Jersey, New York a couple weeks ago. But all right, we'll come through the final final few corners here before the race starts, and we'll see what kind of pace I've got. And remember, it's tire wear is the name of the game today. I will not survive if I wear these tires out too much, so I got to be really careful and not slide them too much, especially the left rear. That is the big one. All right, but here we go. Start of the 150 at Bridgehampton. Hopefully it's a good ride. Whoa, a little bit of a bunch up there. It's gonna be like the IndyCar start last week. There we go. Come across the line. Car behind me is taking a peek. Nice and easy down into turn 1. That was a bit of a weird start. I went a little early, but it all worked out. All right, down to second gear here for Millstone. Whoa. The leading Ferrari there a bit out wide. All right, I really can't slide the tires. I have to be so patient. The tire gauge there, it's gonna say, it's telling me how much grip the tires have. So it'll say 100 for quite a while, and then they'll start losing some grip. And things start getting really slidey once we get close to 50%. Everybody's being real nice here on this opening lap. A little bit hot at the bottom of the left-handers there. We'll come into the hairpin though. Got a little Porsche 906 coming up behind. Should lose them on the straight, but I bet that 906 is faster through the majority of the lap. The slide coming into the final corner. Just try to make sure we get a good exit here. Passing into T1 isn't the easiest, but it is one of the big places to do it. All right, complete the first racing lap without too much drama. Of course, things will liven up a bit once we get to traffic at some point, so I wouldn't worry about it staying like this the entire race. I'm sure there'll be some interesting happenings along the way. Slide the car, slid it a little bit there. All right, feeling good. Got a small gap behind me to bend. Sticking with Yvonne here. They're quick though. All the cars up here are quick, so. Looks like Fabine is running away, which could be predicted. They're so fast. All right. And I'm hoping strategy and stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure the cars in front won't pit as well, but you never know. And so if I'm this close and they've got a pit, well, that's a done deal then. 140. I'll be happy if I do 139s most of the time. Especially once we get a couple laps in, the fuel is a little bit lighter and the tires are nice and warm. Should be right around now that stuff starts livening up a bit. And I don't know how many laps it'll be until we start catching cars. I think the slowest cars will probably lap them 4 or 5 times during this race, so it'll be a busy circuit. It's a little bit of the calm before the storm right now. I'll be interested to see how much patience everybody has, because there's a lot of places on this course you can't exactly pass without giving some room. So a little bit fast here in the left-hander up the hill. Come on. I watch the over revs there. I'm really abusing the tack. I didn't have any engine issues in any of my testing, so I don't know if there's failures or not. Bit of a slide here. Whoa. Get a bit of dust on the exit. We're all right. Didn't lose too much time there, but I do not need to be doing that. The other Mark II is right behind me. And we've got a Porsche right behind him who would love to jump up in this spot. Come on. Got a flipped car already. All been calm up here so far. It's just me running wide on one corner. The Bean has broken out a pretty massive lead already. And I'm falling off the top three a bit, but as long as I can keep them within sight. Once we get to traffic, you never know. No, that little run off the track shouldn't have hurt the tires any, thankfully. Already sweating, so it's going to be a pretty soupy one by the end. I tried first gear through here, and it's slightly quicker right on the initial acceleration, but you have to, the way I have it geared, you got to shift so quickly that it doesn't really pay off. The car's got so much torque that second's fine through there. One car. Nate, I don't believe it participated, so we've got one car already in the pits other than Nate. Got some skid marks on the track there too. Just got to stay in the zone here. Doing all right so far. On pace, these guys in front are just about as quick as I am, if not slightly quicker. But it's going to come down to the traffic and mistakes. And I've already made a mistake, so I need to not do that again. A bit wide there. To slide the tires too much there. You can give it quite a lot of throttle to get it to rotate, but that was weird. Just did not want to turn in on me there. All right, still be a decent lap though. Shoot my first 139. All right, I think we can see the first lap car coming though. Oh, there's a car off the track there. Just caught a glimpse of it before the stewards wheeled them away. You have to imagine if a car abandoned itself here in real life back in the 60s, they probably would have just left it, right? can actually grab the apex here this time. It's Arch's car. Alright. Yeah, I think Yvonne and the Ferrari in second, they're both quite quick, but we'll see what happens through traffic here. I'm definitely not much slower than them, but maybe just a tenth a lap or something. Early days, though. Tires are going to wear out. Fuel's going to burn off. We'll see what happens. It's Daniel in second there. A little bit hot coming into Colasanti here at the bottom of the hill. Slid the tires quite a lot there. I can't be doing that. At least it's a left-hander. The right rear barely wears out around here. You don't use it much. All right, the first lapped car, the little Elan. The good thing is with some of these cars is they'll be a lot faster in the corners, so it should be a fairly natural way to pass. I just didn't time that super well. It's all right. We've pulled out a good amount of time on fifth, so we're really just focusing forward at the moment. I don't see anybody coming up behind. Qualifying do that sometimes. A weird little tank slapper there mid-turn. It's always nice. Pulling in Yvonne here just a little bit through this lap. We got another slower car in front, I believe. I don't think that's the Ferrari. Might be the Bizzarini or the Isogrifo. Oh, big slide there. I don't want to do that too many times. Jumps up the inside down the front stretch. I won't have the luxury. Bizzarini's going to be pretty quick in a straight line. It's just kind of a dog around the corners on a course like this. Do not envy Lars driving that one. Whoa, just clipped that tire. That tire doesn't seem to bother the car at all. Some of the others do bounce you. Inside here. Pretty car, the Bizzarini. Got another Lotus, so there's two Lodi. Little Elans in the race. Lock up with the brakes from the Lotus in front. Such a small car. If you see one of these GT40s in real life, they are tiny compared to a modern car. So I can only imagine how small that little Lotus is. exactly. Low tie. I didn't say low tie, right? Full authority to shame me if I said low tie on my own imagination there. MX-5 size. We got a little, is this a Healy in front? Also a very small car. It's a little awkward. We're both, he's probably way faster than me through that left-hander. But the straight leading up to it, I had the grunt. Nicely done. Maybe could have waited there, but we got through it. Envy did a great job. I don't even know what lap it is right now. This course is so busy, and just keeping the car on the track is so hard. All right, coming to the end of lap. Wow, we're already starting lap 12. Tires are still at 100% grip, but I think things will start. Once they start dropping, it goes fast. The grip really falls off. And I was able to continually do fast laps, but it became much harder to be consistent when the tires wore. So, hoping we can preserve them pretty well today. I haven't had too many big slides yet. That'll get harder to control though as we go. Shelby Daytona in front. Ferrari GTO. Two Ferrari GTOs. For some reason I thought it was a different car. One Ferrari's going to let me up the inside. I might be having some issue. Off the pace a bit. I thought it was a Daytona at first, but it's a Ferrari. Slide the tires a little bit there to save myself. Oh, car stopped on the outside. That's a Daytona. All right, that's our first, well, I guess maybe second wrecked car that we've seen. Just focus. It's so easy to do. I had a little bit of a moment there in the final corner, but see you all writing stuff. I can't read the chat at all today. This track, it's so busy. I just can catch a glimpse of it on the front stretch, and then I have to focus on the road. It's a busy one. This really cool combo, though. I recommend it. It is hard on most of the cars. Some of the cars are easier than others around here, though. I would say this car is not one of the easier ones, but it's definitely not the hardest. I imagine some of these guys in the like the Shelby Daytona or that Bizzarini, the Corvette, which we haven't seen yet in the race, that would be a monster to try to wheel around this course. Keeping Yvonne in sight, but we haven't been gaining through the traffic thus far, but it only takes one awkward scenario, the car in a bad spot, and things could change, so we'll see. Get up the inside of that Ferrari, though. We got another Jag in front. Or is that a Lotus? No, it's a Jag. Ooh, he's going to give me the inside. Probably is faster through that corner than I am, but... Was that an E-Type? I always preferred the D-Type and the C-Type earlier. I know a lot of people really love that car, though, so... Tell you what, you can have it. I'll take the other ones. Not a bad-looking car, I just prefer the earlier models a bit more. Oh, I really clobbered that tire, we're all right. Damage seems pretty forgiving on this. I've had some pretty big crashes over some of the sand dunes, and the car seems more or less fine afterwards. So I don't know what percentage damage we're running on today, but it is certainly not high. We got a 904 up here, or a Chevron, one or the other. This is the Chevron in front. This is the car I had last time out, Le Mans. It was an interesting race, but I'm happy to be in something a little more powerful this time. No, that's the Porsche, so it's not the car I was in last time. That's a 904. Right, this race is just flying by so far. Got something loud in front of us. Headed through Echo Valley. Might be one of the Daytonas. That's right, I haven't seen a Nissan yet today. I heard them. Oh, we got one of the Cobras in front. This was on my... So for these races, if you weren't aware, you get randomly assigned a car, which is part of the fun in it. And that way we get a nice mix of cars. You get some selections, and then they'll randomly choose based on that. But that Cobra in front was one of my alternate choices if this car wasn't available. Sneak up the inside though, headed up the hill. Just not able to grab the apex there. Let's keep the speed up. Oh, it's gonna be very loud for a minute or two. I'll just let you enjoy the sounds. Just as fast as we are in a straight line, that one. Oh, the Corvette's off. All right, how am I going to take a sip of water during this? That's a little bit of a clench here, that one. Got Nate Cowan in front. I was practicing out here the other day, and I passed Nate. It seemed like I passed him a ton of times for some reason. But I grabbed one of the passes for the thumbnail, so thank you, Nate. I dive bombed him quite a lot on that one, too, so it was gracious. He let me in. I'm trying to put pressure on Yvonne in front, but they're just that like slight bit quicker than me, or just as quick. Stuff like that's not going to help anything. All right, we're starting to wear the left rear. I'm Might be able to grab a drink while I'm on this part of the front stretch, but it's going to be quick. Don't want to mess up the next corners. All right, I think it's our second time coming around Maurizio here. So steady on so far. We're fourth position. It's just been trying to keep it as clean as possible, but thank you to Maurizio there, helped me out a bit. This has so far been great. Everybody's doing a good job. I'm sure there was some chaos maybe in the back, but largely everybody's been so good so far and giving each other some space. And I haven't seen as many cars off the track as I thought I would up to this point. Only myself. Yeah, we're going to be running that tire all the way till it's bald. Got a 908 in front, I think. Missed that apex just a bit, but it's all right. I've done worse. I don't know why, I've always loved the rear end on this car. It feels like a weird thing to say, but I'm sure some of you will agree with me. This car in front is, I just like how it looks a bunch. That like weird oval shape in the back, it's flat, it's all business. Give it up just a little bit there. He's going to be quicker than me through this final corner, I bet, but I'll pull him on the straights. That's a 906, not a 908. They look similar from behind, though. Daniel is not that far ahead of us either. I think Babine is just gone, but Daniel is still visible, and Yvonne is not super far ahead. So there's a long ways to go yet. We're not even halfway. Gonna be starting lap 20 next time. Though it's going by so fast for me. I don't know about for you all. So let's see if I can figure this out. I'll wait till I get into fourth. no problem. I need like a straw or something. I have to get that real endurance cockpit. 2 straws, one for coffee and one for water. All right, here's the Maserati in front. Saul doing a nice job with this. Or no, this is a Daytona. I thought it was the Maserati. Getting all my cars wrong today. Still Saul doing a good job with that one, because that's not an easy car. That's what I drove at Riverside way back a few months ago. Camelback. I don't know if a Camelback would be good, because it would be between me and the seat. I think I've seen a few streamers, they'll have like a water bottle set up with a straw so that it's easier to grab. I need a cup holder or something. I just always put my drinks on the floor. Making sure I'm in second gear there. Ooh, a big slide. Don't want to do that too many times. 92% on the left rear. Already wearing the right rear. I did adjust the suspension a little bit since the full run I did yesterday, just to try to take a little more weight off that left rear, but you also need weight on it so that you're turning, so I don't know if it'll do anything. Wear the Camelback like a baby. That's a good one, Pandering. Saying GP laps, looks like he's gained a ton of weight. This is huge. Maybe I could just strap it to the seat. There's an idea. It'll be hanging off the back of the seat, and the straw can still be over on the side. I'm going to be doing some longer races coming up with a new league, and so I might need something like that. I don't know. Losing Yvonne. I just can't keep up. I'm trying my hardest, but I'm also trying to not slide the tires, and hopefully it'll come back to me. Maybe they'll wear their tires out a bit more than me, or maybe even they'll pit. I don't know. Maybe they've got less fuel in the car, and that's why they're quicker. We can hope. But so far so good. I think we're doing a good job so far with the tire wear. It's they're feeling fine at this point. Once they get down into the 60s, that's when you really notice the wear. Just cannot, the apex on that final corner is so hard. Oh, milkshake. Milkshakes are delicious, but you can't drink a whole milkshake during a race. That doesn't feel like it would work out well. Yeah, do the drivers in WEC and IMSA, do the drivers share like a water source? Share straws. Should do it like the real old days. We'll go in the pits and grab a glass of champagne while they fuel the car. I could see the right amount of champagne actually doing wonders for something like this. Not too much, but just a little. All right, we got the Bizzarini again in front. Too tight there through the hairpin. Bizarini's going to be pretty quick on the front stretch here. Slide up the inside though. see Yvonne sneaking around the corners in front of us as we come around. I'm like right on the verge of locking that right front up there. This car is turning itself right now. It feels really good right now. I think I'm hitting a sweet spot of grip and fuel level and stuff. Still, it's great to drive so far. The tire wear it's not doing anything right now. Just under 90% on that left rear, 90% grip. So it'll slow down again once it gets down into like the 30s, but at that point you really just don't have grip anyway. And I think it was like 20% grip when it blew yesterday, so hopefully we don't get down that far. Looks like Sylv went for a little bit of a wild ride there for a minute. Able to collect it up though. Turn. I cannot get it to get that apex. Like the track's just like really flat there. That's my best lap so far. 139.1 with race fuel and stuff. That is pretty decent for me. So it's not my pace. They're up front. They're just fast. Couple little mistakes from me so far, but I think they're just a bit faster anyway. It looks like Yvonne might have been caught up in a little bit of traffic up there, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, luckily we didn't have to fill the car up for this, because I did test it at first with 150 liters, so I figured I would have to. And it is very heavy. Not putting in 50 liters really does change the characteristics of how it drives. Whoa. I grabbed that tire there. I imagine in real life those would really wreck your suspension if you hit one. Not sure it would be so forgiving like that. Bizzarini in front. Alright, so we got 30 seconds it looked like on Ben behind me. Just about 5 seconds off of Yvonne in front. I'm just going to get the Bizzarini down into turn 1 here. On the inside. Just be careful. I had an issue with that in qualifying. Lotus, first 47 I've seen in the race, I think. It's quite a quick car around here. It's nice to see because it was nowhere at the other races. It shows you just how much the tracks can suit the cars. Kringle, thank you. Welcome, Paolo, welcome. I see you in here all the time. All right. Getting close to halfway, a couple more laps. 47 drifts it. Finally get the apex following the line the 47's using. It's going to go up to the inside. It's all right as long as it's a clear indication. It worked out for me. lot of bumps there on the left. You got to watch those. Make it very easy to lock the brakes. Big slide there, don't do that. That'll wear those tires out. We're under 90% grip on both the rears at this point. Right out to the edge. Real tight into the hairpin. I can't make that corner on my own. I need help. I need training wheels through there. All right, across the line. Start the halfway lap. Just over halfway, I guess. So far, so good. I wish I was a little more competitive with the guys up front, but it's how it goes sometimes. They're just quick. I'm doing pretty good laps, and we just have to hope that the tire wear and stuff comes back my way. But I haven't really seen Devon up there sliding the car so much that I feel like the tires are going to wear out. So unless they're on a pit stop strategy, I don't know if it's really going to make that much of a difference. So lock up the tires just a little bit there. They're not worn quite enough yet to start feeling if that left rear is getting close. Another 10% grip loss or so, and we'll notice it. No longer be able to turn my best laps. No, we shouldn't need a pit stop today unless the tires wear out so much that I can't handle it anymore, which has a fair shot of happening, but I've been trying to drive this thing as gingerly as I can so far. Gonna set a new best lap anyway. I've been trying to be as nice to the tires as possible. Whoa, car in front's gonna get out of the way, which is nice of them. Thank you. Go slightly closer to Yvonne this lap, but it might just be traffic ebbing and flowing. Yeah, the cones are super helpful around here. That's really the secret to this track, in my opinion, is the cones. We got the cone there. That's really the apex of the corner. Try to aim it to the outside one there. They really help. They use that a lot on schools for racing, but the cones are always a huge help. Show you where to apex, especially on a track like this where the corners are like kind of ambiguous. You know, they're not 90-degree corners. These are opening and closing and all kinds of interesting degrees of radii. Oh, GT40 in front. Mark 1 spins, catches the Daytona. It helps me pass both of them quite easy, and now I'm much closer to Yvonne now. Race on. Got another group of cars in front. Seems like both of them behind me would have got away with that. Just a little spin. Yeah, without the cones, this would be quite hard. And I don't know if they use the cones in real life for professional racing around here, but either way, I'm glad this track has them. This is going to be a little interesting with these two. Might time it pretty well for Millstone down here. as well. Nicola Sante a little bit later on the brakes than I'd like to be. Just that, I missed it by like 10 yards, and it shoots you that wide. It shows just how close to the limit my braking marker is anyway. We used a bit of the tires there, but I think it was worth it. Definitely closer to Yvonne than I've been. Almost running wide there. Probably just got caught up in traffic or something, but it could also be tire wear. My tires are starting to get worn, that left rear. It's a 74%. If you're just tuning in, that gauge is the percentage of grip or tread that the tire has. So it stayed at 100% for quite a while because the tires had 100% grip. The fronts are still pretty good. My front right, barely used around here. Getting caught up behind another car again. I'd love to be faster on pace, but if I'm not, then traffic's how it's gonna have to happen today. Daniel's right up there too, so it's all coming together for the second position fight. Much better this time into Colazante corner. Still drifting a little bit wide, but we're all right. Yvonne's caught behind a car as well, so car in front's just singing away there. Locked in now. It's really all about getting on the throttle. That's what really helps rotate these cars. The differentials, I tried to open it up as much as I could. A very aggressive diff setup on the car, so the throttle helps turn the car so much, but I couldn't get the off-throttle understeer out of it. I had it as well as, I think, as aggressive as it'll go. And then did a lot with the suspension, try to get that rear end to rotate on entry, but it's just, on a track like this car, it just doesn't like to turn so much. So you gotta get on the throttle to get the car to turn. You can see how much it rotates as soon as I whack the throttle down. We've unlocked them up just a little bit there. I'm starting to slide. You can, this is the tires. So I'm starting to slide in some of the slow corners. It's just giving up some of that lateral grip in right-handers. We'll be fine through this corner the whole race because we don't go to the left that much, so these corners tend to be okay. But at the right-handers, which are the majority of the other corners, they get trickier. All right, we're gonna get stuck behind the Jag here for a minute. I think he tried to keep it to the right to let me by there, but lose a bit of time here. It's all right. Yvonne's lost lots of time to cars. I got lucky. All right, we're coming up on that Corvette again. I still see Daniel right up there too, so we're second is not out of the question. I think Fabine is just gone, and unless they have a big crash, unlikely to be a factor, but who knows? It'd be nice to get up on the podium today. I'd love to actually challenge somebody for a position as well. the little Cobra too. Oh, through Echo Valley and everything. Oh my God. Engine just takes over. Oh, big over rev there. Up on Nate again here. On the outside line. Bit of a drift there. I don't like doing that. I use a lot of the tires, but I had to do it to get around him. Ooh, oh, Daniel's off. In the Ferrari, he's going to come back on the track right in front of me. Man. All right, pick up third. Looks like a pretty big off for him. I don't know if he'll pick up damage from that or not, but that was a sketchy rejoin. I don't know if he had control over it. It might have just been bouncing along. Just got around him there. All right, and just like that, we're up into third place on the podium now. Daniel might still be back there though, so got to keep an eye behind me now. It's just 2.6 seconds off, so it's basically the same gap in front and behind. We'll see how his tires are and a general car in a bit if he starts catching me. It's starting to struggle. I'm just out of grip through some of these right-handers. Just have to wait for it. But Vaughn will have to be doing the same thing. I just, there's no way. I was pretty nice to my tires so far, so I just have a hard time believing that theirs would be in a better spot, unless their setup's totally different or something. We'll have to see. Fabine is good, and they're also in a car which is perfect for this track. So those two things combined means that they're pretty much unbeatable today. But we're still a long ways to go yet, and you never know. Quite a lot of lapped cars in front, slower traffic. I'll have to try to get through here. The left rear is tired, yes, but it has not seen anything yet. We're going to try to bring this thing all the way to the end. I mentioned it a couple times already, but in my testing yesterday, I blew the tire on the next lap after 54th lap. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen today, or that it doesn't blow early. But it's yeah, it's getting quite low on grip. Oh, we got a car off in front. Another GT40 spinning. There's the Honda that's been making so much, or the Nissan rather, that's been making so much noise. Got my Japanese car brands mixed up there. All right, Lars in front again in the Bizzarini. Give him a little bit of a breather here. Daniel's pulled in a few tenths on me. Doing 139s though. The pace is good. I just need traffic to go my way a little bit. Oh, no. Ah, that was so close. I almost did what it did in qualifying there, but just got it. Oof. Just instantly break out into sweat there for a second. Yeah, I also saw my life flash before my eyes there for a minute, but I got through it. We're still in one piece, still in the hunt here. I'm right on Yvonne without grip, but I imagine they're struggling as well. Always good for a few close calls in a race. Hopefully that nothing more. Nothing more than that. Alright, we're under 20 laps to go. Somehow this is just flying by. Let's try to do this a bit less sketchy this time. It's that left rear wearing out. It's just not gripping up quite like it did earlier in the race, and I gotta be careful. Don't want to slide wide. Oh, get a big slide on there. I'm starting to get to the place where it becomes just hard to keep on the road, so that might be what Yvonne's struggling with as well. Dive bomb a little bit inside of the Lotus. Starting to slide through the whole hairpin. It's just going to make the tire wear even more. Kind of compounds itself, and I can see Daniel's coming up behind, so we're not going to have to worry about that as well. I haven't really had to watch my mirror at all this race, so that's a new thing. Ooh, he has a twitch there in the final corners. I missed the apex. Gonna get pretty spicy. Daniel has quite a bit of pace. That car doesn't seem damaged, so his excursion there was purely just a time loss, and he was a bit quicker than me on pace, so just keep doing what I'm doing though. I feel like there's still a chance I can get Yvonne, so maybe we lose a spot to Daniel but then can pass Yvonne back for the podium. I don't know. Maybe I can just get both of them. That would be ideal. You can see it just won't rotate anymore. We got a car off in the sand. One of the Shelby Daytonas. You know who I haven't seen this whole race is the Maserati, and either they're very quick and we just haven't lapped them, or maybe something happened. Got to be careful here. I almost slid off last lap. This is where the Ferrari really gets us. The straights, the Ferrari's not that quick, so I actually wonder how they'll pass. Because I should have more acceleration than the Ferrari. It's just through some of the corners that they're quicker. Past this pretty 906 again. Daniel go out. Daniel went off or had some sort of spin or something, so we're good to focus on forward then. I don't know what happened to Daniel there. Either that or they pit potentially. But he's no longer behind me. It's a slide. It's gonna be just a little bit into the dirt. Ugh. Come on. I lost half a second there doing that. Gather it right back up, right back to it. It's becoming impossible to not slide though. It's just the car it has no rear end anymore. Gavon ran slightly wide there. I've done that a few times already. Almost did it again there. All right, nice and patient here. This is where you can just burn the tires off through a corner like this if you slide it. Down to it though. I'm gonna have to make this happen. I gotta catch up to him first. A lot of understeer there. Just went into panic mode for a minute. Try not to slide it here this time. Just really aggressively take the apex. I love the color of this Ferrari here. When they get out of the way. Thank you very much. I love a red Ferrari, of course, but sometimes the odd colors are nice too. Right on my best lap time right now. Despite the tire wear, the car is getting much lighter with fuel, so it is possible to still do decent laps, but it becomes tricky to stay on the black stuff. Out onto the dirt there. I got the brake bias cranked really far backwards, so you can kind of snap the brakes and it'll rotate the car. It's quite nice, but it's a little tricky to get used to. It can make hard braking a bit chaotic, but it was one of the only ways I could get the turn in. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but all right, I'm catching Yvonne here. I just got to keep doing these laps nice and consistent. So I slide here a little bit too much. Come on. That's too hard. Try to minimize the time loss there, but I did that on like the second lap and I did the same thing again. That lost me another half a second. Keep getting just a slight bit closer and then I'll lose it like that. All right, too chaotic. I don't know. I'm struggling for grip now. Yeah, the left rear is just cooked at this point, and I'm pushing it really hard, and it's not holding for me anymore. Calm down a bit here. See what we can do. Maybe we can't go as fast as we were before, but going off the track's not going to help anybody. You can hear some sort of engine up ahead. I think that's the Nissan. Vaughn's getting held up a little bit. I pushed it way too hard into here last time. We should be good on Daniel, I think. We got about 12 laps to go, though. As long as I don't actually fully throw it off the course, I don't think I'll be able to catch up in the laps remaining. But I mean, it's still to play here in front. I just need to be more consistent. I think I am actually faster than Ivan now, but I keep throwing it away as soon as I actually get somewhat close. I mean, all it takes is one poorly timed lapped car and it can really change everything. Brake smoke in front. Oh, I hear an engine over there. All right, they're too wide in front of him. He's going to skate through the three slower cars here. Didn't lose too much time there with the Bizzarini of Lars. But I'm going to catch these two in front of me just as we're headed into T1. But car coming out of the pits there behind. Look at the Ferrari here. Always awkward doing that, but get it nice. And then we got the Nissan in front. One of the Nissans, I think there's two. You can't miss it. It sounds like nothing else out here. Gonna hear it real good now. Datsun, more like that scream. Yeah, exactly. It is a screamer, that car. It sounds nice though. A little bit late on the brakes there, but still able to get it slowed down. That was nice. Get the spot there. Didn't hold myself up too much. 3 seconds behind Ivan. I don't know. I had a small window where I think my tires were in better shape, and I just kind of didn't do much with it. I got close a couple times, and then I threw it off the track. Whoa, the Bizzarini's going for a ride. Ooh. Man, they nailed that apex. That's quite the line, though. Oh, man. I got slowed up a little bit there, just waiting to see what would happen with that car. Puff of smoke there on the outside, dust. Probably the car they're passing. Oh, another GT40 off. Man, this is GT40 corner. All the Mark 1s seem to be having issues getting through the hairpin. I just did not turn. Yeah, I lost 7/10 on that lap. I mean, I guess I got stuck behind the Bizzarini there, but Lotus is going to let me go, but they're quite quick. Ron's getting a little dicey with this Daytona up there. Bad bounce. That was a close call, with another half a second gone. There's no grip. This car is just, it's just sliding now. $150 miles is not too long of a race, but around here it is a workout. We're down to 36% on the left rear. The Daytona in front. The late lunge. Got two Daytonas. They're flying pack formation here. Barely making the corner, even though I went in so slow. Lets me have the outside. Very nice of Andrew there. Holding it on just a little bit through them. See if I can not throw it away here in a corner. Just dip a wheel off. Don't need to do that. 7/10 closer than last lap, though. Flat the whole way up the hill is not easy to do. Kavan getting caught up again behind the Cobra as I just go too hot. Man, every time this dang corner, anytime I get close to him, I do that. Why do I keep doing that? I had a little bit more speed there than usual because I did really well up the hill, and then I just threw it all the way in that corner. I lose like a half second doing that. It's not the biggest incident in the world, but how many times have I done that now? 4 times? It's frustrating. Getting to the pointy end of this one, and I've been staring at the rear bumper here of Yvonne the entire race. Tires are so hard to hang on to now. We've been on the same set of rubber the entire race, and I think we're barely going to make it to the end with that left rear wearing the way it is. It doesn't have to get to 0 for it to blow. I think it happens around 20. So we're running on thin rubber. Just brake nice and early. Sometimes I can get it nice and easily like that. Easy as I dance with the steering wheel, but relatively. Two GT40s dancing through the sand dunes. There's no way he's not struggling with the tires. I mean, the thing is, you can't go that much faster with new tires. It's just that it's easier to do it. So it's not even really worth changing them. So it's not like I could do better laps. On the Corvette. Good to see the Grand Sports still out here. That's got to be a difficult day. Oh, it's SG in there. I'm sure they're having a good time with it, regardless. It's a Penske Corvette. I think that's what Penske ran. I want to say like the '66 season for Sebring, if I'm not mistaken. Sure one of you all knows. Get around Nate there in the corner. I haven't seen Yvonne go off the track at all though, so they're just being super consistent and it's paying off. So lock up the brakes there. Into the hairpin, keep it on the road though. I'm actually surprised I haven't jumped off the track on the outside there. That's very easy to do. No grip. Another couple tenths on this lap though. Still doing 139s. Mark 1 there that Yvonne just got around. Or no, that's the Mark 2. That's Ben, who was right behind us at the start of the race. They're down into 8th now. Doing a lap on him now. Ooh, it's a bit of a net code there. Hopefully we can get around him without issue. Oh, I just nailed one of those tires. think I made up some time on him. I can almost grab him, reach out and pull him back towards me. Anybody good with the lasso? Coming up with 4 to go here, coming to the line. Closer than I've been in a while, but getting close and getting around are 2 different things. Under 2 seconds though. Well, I know some cars would have definitely pit during this, so 24 left rear tire. It is hopefully going to hold out the remaining 4 laps here. Maybe Yvonne saved a little bit for the very end. We can MacGyver something here to latch onto the rear bumper. Revving it a lot now. Nailed that tire on the inside. It cost me maybe a 1/10 there. Coming to the line for 3 to go here, and I'm as close as I've been since the very early laps of this race. I don't know if I can get this last 1.5 seconds out of him, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna keep the pressure on. Maybe we'll catch some more lap traffic. He missed the apex in the final corner here. I've done that most of the laps, but I hit it that time. Oh, he's running a bit wide there. Just saved that. He had 2 wheels on the dirt, I think. Got a couple slower cars coming up as well. Keep it interesting. Really locked in right now. It's like just trying to make everything as smooth and straight as possible, but the car has no rear end grip anymore. It's the turn in there. Just trying to keep my foot in it a little bit, carry the speed because you need it up the hill here. Come on. A little bit too fast. I'm going to do the same thing I've done every other time I've caught up to him, and that's this time quite a lot more than I've done in the past. That's it for chasing Yvonne. Unfortunately, gave it everything it had. Oh, terrible rejoin by me. I didn't even see it. I checked my mirror as I went off there and didn't see anybody behind, but I'll have to apologize to Ben for that after the race. It was a valiant effort, right? Yeah, the tire, it's just, I got no grip. Two laps to go. I was hoping I was going to be able to get him. That would have been so exciting to cap off the race with a pass for second, but well, you can't say I didn't try. I was pushing the heck out of it there. And it's that dang corner I keep making mistakes on, the bottom of the triple left-handers. A lot of fun. This is so much fun. I hope some of you try this combo. It's not easy, but it's a good time. Try some of the other cars too. This car probably is not the most fun around here. I did do a couple laps in the Cobra at some point, and that's a really nice car around here if you can control your right foot. I knew I was going to go too hot into the bottom of the hill here, but I'll have to watch that back and see what I could have done. And then I was just so hot coming into this corner too. Wow, it is quite low. I'm surprised it's still inflated, actually. Should be careful here. Got one more lap to do it. Ooh, a little bit of dust kicked up in front. Looks like one of the Nissans might have went off. All right, final lap. And we've got no tread on the left rear anymore, so I got to be really careful. It's nice and easy. No sliding. No sliding needed. A lot of traffic here too. That would have made things really interesting on the final lap if we were still battling with Yvonne, but it wasn't meant to be. Yvonne did a great job. I mean, I don't think I've seen them put the car off the track really at all. Just a little bit of dust here and there, but nothing like me. I threw it off this corner at least 5 times in this race, but no major accidents or anything, no big spins, just silly slides, which is what happens around Bridgehampton. All right, come through the hairpin though. We should be able to make it home now, even if the left rear blows. I haven't seen them get this low. We'll come to the top of the hill though. There's 2 more corners here. Come around out the Bridgehampton 150. Driving the GT40, the 3rd place podium finish, I guess. I feel like I could have got 2nd, but I'm happy with that. That was a good amount of fun. And I'm exhausted now, as it looks like Fabine probably won, saying Yvonne's in front now, but see if we can go catch up to Yvonne and go for the photo op. Great race with Yvonne. That was so much fun. It's so cool to have somebody that's, you know, you're chasing the whole time. And I can't imagine being them and watching me in the mirrors, but I'm sure they were excited when I slid off the track. But great race. I'm exhausted. That was so tiring. Wonder if we can make the left rear blow. Bunch of clouds just suddenly appeared. I hope it was fun to watch. It, man, making little mistakes like that just bugs me, but it's, when you're pushing that hard, it happens. This corner is so tough. It's just, you come in it with a head of steam and you got to get the car slowed down and turned, you know, all at the same time while downshifting there. It's not an easy one. Stalled the car. All right, we'll come into the pits though and see if we can grab a quick look at the results. Well, they may disappear on us, but looks like Fabine won, which they're just unbelievably fast in this one. Had the field covered and then some, and luckily able to get around Daniel there, but yes, Fabine wins from Yvonne. Myself in 3rd place, Maximilian finishing in 4th in the 906 ahead of Daniel. Sean Campbell ahead of Kaspari. Ben Rushworth, who I got to apologize to for that rejoin at the end. We got away with it clean. Corey Andrews back in 9th, and Jake Witcher in the Mark I GT40 rounds out the top 10. From there, Tom Harding ahead of Dowie. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Ahmad Sarwar back in 13th ahead of Evan VU in the Lotus 47 finishes 14th. Nicholas Schneider in the Iso Grifo, that's the Bizzarini. Ahead of Alexander. We saw Nick Ryan there quite a few times in the Corvette, which was fun. A couple of Shelby Daytonas. Andrew Shaw ahead of Nate Cowan back in 19th, and Tim LeBerg. Got Felix 789 coming in 21st. Ahead of Chris Gordon, Steve Lubson, Andrew Spencer, NB Rain, Maurizio Savona. Ahead of Silvarch. Lars Vile finishes back in 28th. Sal back in 29th must have had an issue. Only did 35 laps. These are our non-finishers. So we had 26 finishers, which is really good. But rounding out that 35 car field today. Had a few no-shows, which is normal. But it looks like Gedu finishes last in the XJ13, unfortunately. But a great race overall. I hope it was fun to watch. It was very tiring. I'll have to watch back some of it to see if there's anything I could have done differently, but I'm sure there's always something here or there that you can do. But it was good. I'll be back soon. I think next weekend, at least by next weekend, with another race. Be doing a race in a league that's kicking off next week. So I'm back to the 1950s with some sports cars and Longford. I've got to start practicing for that. I haven't done any practice with it yet, but it should be fun. It's going to be a long race, like a 3-hour coming up there. It'll be like the old HRRC days. So if I don't see you before then, I hope everybody has a good weekend and everything. And I hope it was fun to watch. It was a great race. Thanks to Nate Lubson for organizing all of it and the SROL League. There's a link to the league in the description, which you can join there and sign up for future races that these guys do. It's kind of random races, but they're always a lot of fun, and these cars are great. So I'm sure I'll do the next one. And yeah, until then, have a great weekend. I'll see you all later. Goodbye. Goodbye.